you can try 5 different blueberry beer, and they all taste different. The one I prefer has more of that blueberry flavor.
Yeah.
And maybe that's because we're from Maine.
Perhaps.
And blueberries are our state fruit.
There you go. Hey all, Amanda here, and welcome to episode 45 of Great Beer Adventure. With Mother's Day this weekend, I wanted to take a moment to celebrate moms, specifically my mom. During this past year, my mom has been a huge supporter of this show by not only being my biggest fan, but also by being my main source of childcare so I could put together all of these episodes for you. That is 45 episodes of love from my mom to me, my children, and you all. So as a big thank you to her, we sat down and drank beer and chatted about what it was like being the mom of a beer podcaster. I should probably get better at my gift giving, huh? I could always head over to our show sponsor, Oak Hill Beverage in Scarborough, Maine. Just pick her up some beer or wine and call it a day. No need to put her through the ringer, but hey, she was a good sport. Listen in to learn a little bit about the mom behind the lady behind the voice. Hey everybody, I am sitting at my kitchen table today. Not a normal spot that we do this podcast from, but we are bringing you a very special show today. It's our Mother's Day show. Mother's Day is a couple days of goodness gracious, words aren't coming easily this morning. Mother's Day is only just a couple days away, and you still have time to go find your mom the perfect gift. Unfortunately for my mom, I said, hey, Mom, you get to be on my podcast. So my mom, Tammy Kaufman, has joined us today to talk about what it's like to be a mom of a beer podcaster. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Amanda.
Thank you so much for agreeing to come and sit at the table with me and talking to a microphone.
You're quite welcome.
My mom isn't the biggest beer drinker. Is that fair to say, Mom?
That's fair.
Yeah. You drink beer now.
Occasionally.
Yep. More so when I say, hey, Mom, try this.
That's true.
So I brought 3 beers today to say, hey, Mom, try this.
Hopefully there's one there I like.
Oh, hopefully. We'll see. For all those listening, I've brought a Belgian-style IPA, an IPA brewed with coffee, and then I'm hoping she might actually like the vanilla porter. We'll see. We'll see. So actually, Mom, I met a gentleman on Instagram, and we started talking, and he does a beer podcast out in Detroit.
Okay.
And he wanted to do a little tradesy, which isn't actually technically legal. You're not allowed to send beer through the mail. So we each sent each other artisanal marinades.
Interesting.
Yeah. They also sometimes when people send each other beer, they call it live yeast samples, or yeah, you got to come up. Some people just call it olive oil and say that it's just a box of olive oil.
That's okay as long as they don't break open.
Yeah, I've had one returned in a plastic bag before, and that's a little bit harder to explain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, you were here that day, I think.
I was.
Yeah. So this particular beer was sent to us by Detroit Beer Cast. It's a Detroit-based podcast and magazine, which is interesting.
Yes.
The gentleman's name is Nick, and they sent us a brewer. It's from a brewery called Shorts Brew. It's called Snake Juice, and it's a India Pale Ale brewed with coffee.
I don't know that I've ever tried ales.
Well, most beers are actually ales.
Oh, they are?
Yep. Lagers. There's lagers and Yale's. The only time I'll ever get close to going to Yale is by saying ale incorrectly. There's lagers and there's ales, and there's just different ways that they are fermented. So you've had some ales, but you probably have not had an India Pale Ale. They're a lot more bitter in flavor.
Wonderful.
And I know they're not quite in your flavor profile. So generally speaking, those aren't the beers I'm trying to convince you to like.
Okay, good.
So this one, their tagline is, "It's about to get real scary really fast."
And we're starting with this one?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Let's jump right in.
Let's jump right in. And also, the company is very much Michigan only, Michigan forever. So very much local. They have no intention of ever distributing outside of Michigan.
Wow.
Yeah, unlike us here at the podcast, in our second year, we plan on taking over the world.
Well, I hope you do.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Mom. So we're going to open this up and we're going to give it a try. If anybody would like to check out Detroit Beer Cast, you can go to DetroitBeerPress.com. They're also on Instagram under Detroit Beer Press, and they're on Twitter at DET Beer Press. Twitter doesn't let you have as many letters, so you have to cut things down. That's why instead of having Great Beer Adventure, we went with Great Beer Women.
Oh, I wondered why you had the difference.
Yeah.
And I never thought to ask you.
Yeah. Twitter, they want things to be very small, very to the point.
I guess so.
All right. The label art on this bottle is actually very, very interesting. It's a snake charmer.
I would say it's eye-catching.
It is eye-catching, yeah. The green and the yellows, lots of green and yellows, and then the snake and the snake charmer both have touches of red that really make them pop.
I'm not sure that would be my first choice of a bottle I'd pick off the shelf, though. 'Cause I don't really care for snakes.
No, it is a little trippy, too. I don't know that you would necessarily be like, oh, look at that hallucinogenic type looking bottle. Let's go for that one.
No, probably not. Mine would have, like, blueberries on it, or...
The cap also has a guy upside down in a pile of dirt or something. I don't know.
Yeah, looks like he's head first.
Yeah. All right, so the first thing we're going to do, Mom, is we're going to smell it.
Okay.
So I've taught you about smelling the beer before, right?
You have. Just my nose doesn't cooperate.
Yeah, sorry.
Smells like beer.
It does, actually. I was hoping that more coffee would come out, but I don't get any coffee on the nose.
No, I don't either.
No. All right, ready?
You go first. Maybe I should, because then I might not go after you.
It's a very subtle background of the coffee. And I don't feel like it's as hoppy as some of the IPAs we've had on the show before.
If it's coffee, it's bitter coffee.
Yeah, they don't put cream and sugar in it, Mom.
No. This would be like drinking black coffee.
Yeah. Not the faces here, folks, are telling us all she's not a big fan.
No.
No. All right. You going to try another one?
Sure.
Sure. Okay.
No, that wouldn't be my first beer of choice.
No. So I should not bring this one to the next family function and say, hey, Mom.
Probably not.
Not that I'd be able to get it here anyways.
You never know, I do travel.
That's true. Michigan only, Michigan forever. Where are you going?
Possible.
Where are you going this summer, Mom? We need
Illinois.
All right, we need to start planning that out so I can have you bring back the beer for me, okay?
The right beer this time.
The right beer this time.
Instead of just stouts, yeah.
Right. Okay, so this next beer is from Flying Dog. And while the dog on the label is kind of scary, I think the overall picture is kind of pretty. What do you think?
It is. It's a pink. Yeah,
Some flowers in there.
there is.
I think that even though the dog looks like there's like some crazy stuff going on with it, the background just...
The dog looks a little scared of himself.
Yeah.
I hope that's not a sign of what I'll be.
You might be, Mom. So this one's the Tropical version of the flying dog. We are trying to keep the episode as clean as possible, seeing we have had to put out a bonus episode recently. And that was filled with profanity. So this is actually their 25th anniversary this year, it says. And there's a little story on here. Let's see if I can get through it. For years she's gone walking. When she passes, she lures you in. And time after glorious time, she never disappoints. Tall and tan and young and lovely, you smile with a swing so cool and so sway, so gentle, you'll give your heart gladly.
Wow.
What do you think about that?
It's quite a story about to draw you into this beer.
I guess so, yeah. It's another Indian Pale Ale. It's a Belgian style one this time. So there's going to be some more malty flavors in this, but also some of those bitter characteristics. And this one says it's an Indian Pale Ale brewed with pineapple and mango juices with natural passion fruit flavor added.
Now, see, if I read that, I think it would draw me into that.
Yeah.
The fruits are my type of beer.
Yeah, so when I read that, I have tried this one. I'm not sure this is going to be completely in your wheelhouse, but I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking, oh, this one's going to be a little bit sweeter. It'll still have a little bit of that bitterness from the hops. And then the Belgianness, normally that comes out as a kind of a spicy flavor. Not spicy as in hot, but some, so Hefeweizen is a more... I don't know, that one has a lot of bananas and cloves, and Belgian's not quite all the way there, but it has some of those flavors where there's some spiciness to it.
Okay.
So to me, that sounds amazing. But I'm not quite sure that this beer is exactly what my mind thinks it should taste like.
Okay.
So we'll give it a try.
Sure.
We're going to need some more glasses.
Well, I was just wondering how that was going to work, if you were just going to mix the two.
Yeah, we're going to do some
or...
blending.
You might come up with a good combination.
All right, hold on one moment. All right, after running to the cupboard, I have found some glasses for us, and I'm going to pour some now. Now, the coloring looks a lot like the last one.
It sure does.
Yeah. But hopefully...
A little more
like a
pinkish
copper,
orangey color.
A little darker, but quite similar still.
The smell is not as hoppy, I don't think. Or is...
As this one has warmed up, the coffee does come out.
Yep. You can smell it now.
Yeah, this one...
This one smells tame.
Remember Grammy's tea berry gum?
Yes.
If you get your nose way down in there, I kind of can smell tea berry.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Clovey.
Yeah, it's got some fruity tea berry in there.
It's a little bitter, but not as bitter as the last one.
Is it what you thought it was going to be based on the description?
No.
No, see?
No, I thought it would be a lot sweeter.
Yeah, I knew that it wouldn't be because of the IPA, but I thought it would be more fruity. Like I would have gotten more of those fruit flavors.
Yeah, I don't smell them nor taste them.
Yeah. This one I like, though. I like to drink this one. It's just not what I thought it was going to be. It's just different.
I'm not sure I could drink a whole bottle.
But you might finish
on a hot day.
On a hot day after watching Your Children? Quite possibly. It's all right. I would do the same thing. It doesn't have to be a hot day. I still would drink a whole one after watching My Children.
Oh, it's too bad I didn't drink back in those days. At least not beer, that is.
All right, so our final one we're going to try today is actually by Breckenridge. You know, normally you would think that a podcaster would be able to talk a little bit more eloquently, but it's not the case. Not at least for this one.
That's okay.
And this is not my good bottle opener. So this one is by Breckenridge Brewery. They are out of Colorado, and this one's a vanilla porter. So they actually use real vanilla beans in this one. And a porter is a darker beer.
Have you tried this before?
I think so, but a long time ago.
Oh, yeah, much darker color.
Yeah. So not quite to the point where...
It looks like a glass of Coke or Pepsi.
Yeah. Yeah, some stouts and porters, when you pour them, they are a lot darker. But this one, you're right. It's more like a soda darkness.
Yes. And it is even milder smelling than the other two.
Mm-hmm. And remember, those will change over as they get warm and different things will happen.
I've heard you say that before, and I did not know that until you did.
Yeah, it tastes like soda to me.
Actually, I could drink a whole bottle of this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like maybe it's like a vanilla Coke almost.
I
actually have never had Coke before, I don't think. And I haven't had Pepsi for years, so I don't really know what that would taste like.
Actually, me either.
But in my head, it's this.
Yeah, it's this is mild.
Yeah.
Very mild beer.
So you actually had your own little experiment, kind of, with the whole warming up of beer. I had brought home a Waypoint from Rising Tide, and that was one I was hoping that you would really like, because I love it. And it's a coffee, and it's also a porter, I believe. And when you first drank it, you're like, I can't taste any coffee. And then, of course, the kids needed you for a while. And then it warmed up.
Right.
And that allowed you to actually get some of those flavors out of it.
True.
Yeah.
I was amazed at the fact that it changes flavor, just sitting, warming.
Yeah. Just the coldness really, holds back a lot of the flavors sometimes. And it doesn't let your palate really enjoy them.
And as a non-beer drinker, previous to you doing this, I would never have thought about drinking beer warm.
Yeah, I don't think you ever really necessarily want it, warm. There are some that are at room temperature, and sake is at, sometimes quite warm. But I don't know that you necessarily want a warm beer, but it's not as cold as the restaurants make you think you should have it with the frozen glasses.
Right. And that's why I guess I have beer glasses in my freezer, because I thought that's how you're supposed to drink it.
Right. Yeah.
So
we had glasses in our freezer for some time, and then we're like, wait a minute. We've been lied to. Yeah. So we found one. I thought you might like that one, so I'm glad to know that my taste bud beer matchmaking is on point.
right. And typically I'm not a vanilla fanatic. I usually shy away from vanillas.
Yeah.
But yeah,
good.
This is good.
All right, cool. So we are just about to move into our second round, but before we do, we are going to take a quick break for a word from the in-studio version of me with some kind of ad.
Okay.
We'll see what that is. In studio, Amanda here, and I want to take just a moment to let you know about this cool project that I am part of. Reality TV is a huge thing, but what about reality podcasts? Weight Loss Nation is the first of its kind and is a 7-day-a-week podcast that is aiming to be just that, a reality podcast. Throughout the season, folks can join in for support in their weight loss journey and even have a chance to win a cruise for 2. I have joined up as a mentor and will be offering help to those that might need it. If you are looking to get healthier, much like I am, come join me and we can succeed together. For more information, check out theweightlossnation.com. Now, back to mid-interview Amanda. So, welcome back. We are at round 2, and as we had mentioned previous to now, today is our Mother's Day episode, and so I thought, what better way to celebrate Mother's Day than to talk to my mom about what it's like to be my mom. So I would love to know a little bit about how it's been from your side of things as I flood Facebook with beer.
It's actually opened my eyes up a lot because I didn't know what a podcast was till you started doing this. I never would have imagined me listening to a beer podcast until you started this. I didn't know much about beer. I didn't know what the ingredients of beer were. I didn't know there were special laws pertaining to beer. I really didn't know much about beer. I tended to go for something other than beer previous to this. But now I actually have 3 or 4, maybe 5 beers that I like.
Nice. So have you heard anything like, oh, Tammy's daughter, she really needs to lay off the liquor? Like, is it that?
Not at all.
Is that the kind of thing that's going on out there?
No, not at all. I share it on Facebook. I'm quite proud of you in following your dreams. And this seems to be a passion of yours. So whatever your passion is, I'm right there to support you.
Thanks, Mom. Whenever I tell somebody about the show, I say, "Yeah, my biggest fan is my mom." So I really do appreciate you being right there. In fact, the show probably would not be able to get done without you because Tuesdays are work days, and
This is true.
Tuesdays are the days that you watch the kids.
This is true.
What has it been like? Have you noticed anything with the kids? Because I've been doing this since beer and podcasting have been such a big part of my life for the past year.
Well, Madison wants to be a podcaster, and I don't think she knew what a podcast was until you started this either. And she knew when, I think it was hops that you had on your counter, or barley.
It was malt.
Malt. And she told me that's one of the ingredients in beer. Mama's going to make some beer. So, yeah, she absolutely gets right into it.
Yeah. That beer did not come out well.
I heard that.
Yeah, it was. I never got to smell it, but I heard that it smelled a lot like baby diapers.
That is not a good smell.
That is not a good smell at all.
No, I don't think I'd want to taste that one.
No, there was no fixing it.
What happened? Do you have any idea?
It got infected.
Does that happen often?
No, but we were trying to do something where you sour it. So some of those sour beers that I bring around. And we're trying to make a goza, the one that was made out of salt water.
Yeah.
And you can kind of sour it, but because you warm it up in that process as a home brewer, it leaves it open to a lot more chances of getting infected.
Wow.
And it just didn't work out for us.
That's too bad.
We're going to give it a go again.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good. Don't give up.
No, one thing a lot of people ask when they find out that I do a beer podcast, and I don't know exactly how they jump from one to the other. So it's always like, oh, you do the beer podcast. Do you do any home brewing? Yeah, I mean, we haven't for years and years because we had kids and they take up so much time.
They do.
They take up so much time. So we're gonna get back into it. But then as soon as you say, "Oh yeah, we've done some," oh, do you plan on opening a brewery? No,
I don't want you to grow a beard.
I don't want to grow a beard either. And you know that I'm a very creative person, and I have a very difficult time following rules and recipes.
True.
So I would not be able to ever, if I made the most amazing beer ever, it would be by sheer luck, and I would not be able to replicate it.
You never know. It might not be luck. It might be that you just had something right.
Yeah, but when I cook, it's like, a dash of this and a pinch of that, and I don't know that's like a really good method for brewing.
Well, maybe not. It's a good method for cooking.
Yeah.
I can't say whether it's a good method for brewing or not.
Yeah, brewing's a bit more of a science where even if you change the amount of hops you use by a small margin, it can drastically change everything else. Or even a degree difference can change things.
You'd have to use a measuring cup.
I can't do it, Mom. I can't do it. So what else should the viewers, we don't have viewers, unless they go to YouTube, which we have a new YouTube channel.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, you can go to youtube.com/greatbeeradventure. It's like one of the few places we actually have the Great Beer Adventure name and not Great Beer Women. But if you go over there, youtube.com/greatbeeradventure, you can actually be a viewer. But one of our listeners, is there anything that you can share with our listeners about being a mom of either... Sorry, folks. My mom's phone is making the most ridiculous noises I've ever heard. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but it's causing some giggles over here. So about, either having a kid in the beer industry or having a podcaster as a child. Like what kind of details can you give our listeners? Or you can even just give them dirt on me. It doesn't really matter.
No dirt on you. Well, podcasts are great. I think a lot of people shy away from them because they think they're going to have to pay for them. And, you do have to subscribe, like to iTunes or whatever, to get them. But it's great if you're out on your daily walk. The walk goes a whole lot faster listening to your podcast. But I've learned so much. My memory isn't great, so to, specifically tell you the things I've learned is a little difficult for me, but...
So you can just go back and re-listen to all of them like it's the first time again.
Exactly. The ingredients, I had no idea what the ingredients of beer were until you did a show on each individual one, and that water was such an important part of it. And by opening my world to podcasting, you've opened... you told me just to search for what I enjoy, and I enjoy genealogy. So now I have found this whole array of other podcasts. I will say yours is the only beer podcast I listen to. Part of that is because I love you and I'm proud of you, and the other part is that, I do learn from that. But as far as listening to every single beer podcast that's out there, it's probably not my cup of tea or glass of beer.
There you go. So again, we're going to pop off and let In Studio Amanda tell you something, and we'll be right back with round 3. Hey folks, In Studio Amanda here, and I wanted to take just a quick second to tell you about a great event we are putting on. We are partnering up with the Maine Beer Tours to host Camp Azaka Hops, a 2-night sleepaway camp for women. It will take place this fall and include a lot of beer-centric activities, including yoga, homebrewing, and, of course, drinking. If you or an awesome beer-drinking lady would like more information, join our Facebook group by heading to greatbeeradventure.com/camp. Now, back to mid-interview Amanda. Thanks for that In Studio Amanda. That was awesome. Don't know what it was, but good job. So, round 3, Mom, is one question. And it is just simply, what was your first beer memory?
My first beer memory. I didn't care for beer years ago, and so I steered away from it. It's probably not a craft beer, but when Wild Blue, a blueberry beer, came out, that was probably the first actual beer. Well, no, I got to back up a little bit. Pumpkinhead. I used to drink that. Don't care for it now. The blueberry
And by that,
ones,
she means it's lovely and it's awesome.
it's just not my taste anymore. I did like it, and I drank it for quite a while, but it's just not my taste anymore. But the blueberry beer, you can try 5 different blueberry beer, and they all taste different. The one I prefer has more of that blueberry flavor.
Yeah.
And maybe that's because we're from Maine.
Perhaps.
And blueberries are a state fruit.
There you go. You hit on a couple of points there. First, you're absolutely correct. 5 different blueberry beers. They're all going to taste very, very much different. And so I try to convince people all the time when they say, I hate IPAs. You can't say that because every single one of them is going to be completely different. And even though the whole idea behind the IPAs are the hops, they're going to be presented as very much different. There are so many different kinds of hops that they each taste different. So depending on what is used, how much is used, what way they decide to go about it, it really changes it up. So I'm glad that, you're willing to try different things and not just be like, nah, I don't like beer.
I remember you talking, I think it was about a double or a triple IPA when we went camping last summer.
Yeah, some double IPAs.
Yeah, and I've yet to try them, but that's something on our radar that we want to try.
So normally the double IPAs, they're going to have higher alcohol in them, and so there's also more hops. But because of all that, there's also more malt. So there's going to be some of that bitterness, but then there's going to be some backness with some sweetness coming through. So it's going to be different. I don't know. They're all so different, and how everybody interprets them are so different. The other thing that you mentioned was Pumpkinhead, and actually that was my gateway beer as well.
Was it?
Yep. And I don't drink a lot of it anymore. Normally when it comes out, we get a bottle or maybe 2, and we'll take it and we'll mix it with a stout. And so what that actually does is you still get some of those pumpkin flavors.
Okay.
But it's not as sweet.
I guess I never would have thought of mixing 2 different beer either.
Yeah, I am still, even though that I've done that before, my eyes are still being opened. Actually, one of our recent shows, we were down in a cellar, and they were blending beers I would never have thought of doing. And they say that you should kind of do that sometimes when you're trying something. If you don't quite like it, try blending it with something else.
Oh, wow.
Or if you do like it, it may be good even blended with something else and try to see how things come together.
Wow.
Yeah.
I never would have thought that.
Yep. I actually made up so I do the beer tours.
Right?
Yep. And on Sundays we go over to Shipyard, and they had, so not only do they have Pumpkinhead, they came out with Applehead.
Haven't tried that.
And they have Melonhead.
Oh, that sounds good.
That one tastes like Jolly Ranchers.
Oh, I would like that one.
Yeah. So really sweet. So not really in my wheelhouse right now.
Right.
But I took it and I mixed it with their Monkey Fist, which is an IPA, the most bitter IPA that they had on their lineup. And the 2 of them together actually tasted quite amazing. And I invented it. And they're actually selling growlers of it now.
Very good. Did they name it after you?
One of the people on my tour named it like Melon Fist or something.
There you go.
I thought I should get commissions on the bottle. Like when they sell a growler, I should get a commission.
I think so.
Yeah.
That would be a great idea.
Yeah. Before we started the mic, you were also telling me that one of my beer memories is incorrect.
From what you remember and from what I remember, very different. You remembered your first memory as having a beer that was your father's, and it really wasn't your father's. It was a friend of ours, Lisa's, and neither your father or I were very impressed that you were about 3 or 4 years old and you had a bottle of beer in your hand.
Yeah, there was a picture.
There is a picture.
Yeah, and I always thought it was Dad's beer, and I don't actually remember it. I just know the picture.
Yeah. A lot of our memories we draw from photographs because there's so much I don't remember about
Yeah.
my past. But my sister's memories stir my thought of what my memories are. But yeah, I didn't drink any beer back then. And your father did on occasion, but not very often. It was Lisa that was the beer drinker. So it was her beer that you thankfully didn't taste, but you had a bottle of it in your hand while a picture was taken.
Oh, well, I'm really glad that it was a woman that got me started on my beer adventure. That just adds so much more to it.
It fits. Great
It
beer
does.
women.
I know, it fits so well. All right, we're not going to cut back to in studio Amanda. She's already said enough.
Okay.
So we're just going to move right into round 4. And on round 4, we call it 3 sheets of the wind, 3 random questions. So,
I have a question. Why aren't they random?
well, they are random in a sense that they have nothing to do with beer.
Okay.
But they're not random in the sense of I have the computer randomly generate a question.
Or 2 podcasts in a row don't get different questions.
Right. No, we like consistency.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it has nothing to do with beer.
And they all answer so differently. So it does make it interesting.
Yeah. All right. So, first question.
Yes.
Back when you were a kiddo, or when I was a kiddo, whatever you feel like answering, what was your favorite cartoon?
Well, when I was a kid, we
you-
did more playing outside.
And
than we
walking
did-
uphill both ways?
No. No, that was before me.
Okay.
No, we the whole neighborhood would play together, and we could play outside till 10 o'clock at night, and our parents didn't worry. You can't do that today.
No.
But I do remember as children, your brother was into the Ninja Turtles, and I thought they were the stupidest cartoon, but he loved them.
Did you know that they have made a comeback?
Yeah, and I'm sure it's not the same.
It's not. It's all like live action and
Anything they bring back, they don't go back to
What it was.
What it was, and they're ruining a lot of historic
but you
cartoons.
You didn't like it
movies.
back then.
Yeah, but I'm sure I would like it even worse today. But your favorite was Teddy Ruxpin.
Yeah.
And he wasn't only a teddy bear, he told stories, he got you through potty training. He was a wonderful bear.
So both of those memories of yours actually bring me to thoughts of my youngest, Charlie. Charlie's huge into ninjas. And so every time that she says ninja, Maddie always wants her to like the Ninja Turtles. And that is not the kind of ninja that Charlie likes.
No.
No, Charlie likes the...
I would say pirate type ninjas.
If they could be pirate ninjas, that would be perfect for Charlie.
Exactly.
Yeah. Pirate type ninjas. But yeah, that would be fabulous. I should see if I can get a pirate ninja to come to her birthday party.
That would be awesome. She would love that.
She would. She would think it's the best. We'll have to look that up and get a costume for Brian.
There you go.
He will love that.
He will absolutely love that.
And then we're going through potty training with Charlie. And I believe, I didn't actually get to see it, but I believe that you brought back the Teddy Ruxpin. Is it Ruxpin?
Ruxpin.
Ruxpin? I don't know. I was like,
Well, you're going to have to Google it now.
I'm going to have
Did
to
you
Google
Google me?
it. Did I Google you? I didn't Google you, Mom.
Oh, my goodness. You Google everybody.
I know. Do you want me to do that right now?
No, not right now.
No.
You can Google me later.
Okay.
I don't know that you're going to find anything, but you can Google me.
Okay.
Actually, I hope you don't find anything.
So, so a full circle, Charlie now watches cartoons that I watched when I was potty training too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've mentioned Teddy Ruxpin a few times to Maddie and Charlie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
YouTube
it
is
does.
great.
It brings me back to, a very different time in my life.
I can imagine instead of a 34-year-old.
Oh, you think you've got trouble in your hands now if they grow up to be, at well, Maddie sailed through 4. If Charlie makes it through 4 without doing some of the things you used to do, you are going to be one lucky mama.
Oh no! Oh no! All right, one thing. You can mention one thing and that's it, because I know the listeners are going to want to know something that I did.
Well, you were going to run away. You were about 3, and you put your shoes on. It was in the dead of winter. You didn't want your boots, so you wore your shoes. You had undies, but no pants, and a winter jacket. And I said, "Where are you going?" And you said, "I'm running away." And you headed down the stairs. And I have pictures of that, too.
I've seen those pictures, yeah. I think I'm in trouble because Charlie has already nearly attempted that, and she's not quite 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's going to be a rough one.
Yep.
Next question. What song is stuck in your head right now?
Something about Jake. They were singing it at lunchtime. I have occasionally watched Jake in the Neverland Pirates, but I really don't get into it. But they were singing it. Actually, Maddie was singing it, and Charlie chimed in at the end.
Yeah. So
at lunchtime.
Yeah. Charlie knows very little of the songs, but she has some very specific key phrases that she sings. So, one part of Jake and the Neverland Pirates, I know exactly what you're talking about. It says, like, come and join us and me. And so she just screams the whole time that her sister is singing, and me, and me.
This is true.
And that's it. And just over and over again.
She knows what she's telling us.
She does. And Maddie seems to think she knows what Charlie's telling us.
She does.
Sometimes it's for Maddie's own benefit.
This is true.
Yeah.
Like she maybe wants to watch a movie when she's potty training.
Yeah.
And it's not really because Charlie wants to watch the movie. It's because Maddie wants to watch the movie.
And
Very
it's
true.
always that if there's a purple and a pink one, Charlie always wants the pink one, according to Maddie.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Although, for the longest time, the only color Charlie said was purple. But she didn't really mean purple.
No.
She meant whatever other color you had in your hand of bowl, cup, plate, as long as Maddie got the purple one.
Yeah. Well, do you know, that all started last summer. We were coming back from Bar Harbor, and there's like Perry's Nut House or something on Route 1.
Yeah.
And they have some fudge there. And so we were asking Maddie which flavor she wanted, and she said purple.
Okay.
And so Charlie heard purple, and she then took on purple, and that stuck. It was sugar into Charlie's body, and you just had to say purple. So,
And what flavor was it?
I think it was like blueberry or something.
Sounds good.
Yeah, purple is a delicious flavor.
Yes. Yes, sounds very good.
Okay, last question.
Okay.
All right.
Seriously? Or kind of, but not really?
Ma, you listen to the show, you know probably
That's
not
why
really.
I know probably exactly.
All right, so last question. What was the best thing you had to eat this week?
It's going to sound crazy, but bread pudding. Bread pudding doesn't really fit into Weight Watchers and what I'm trying to do there and getting healthy. But when you get a hankering, if you don't fix it, it's going to get worse and worse.
I never really liked bread pudding. You and your bread puddings and rice puddings, and like, I just can't. So,
You had rice pudding in your refrigerator last week. Maddie showed me.
yeah, and I ate 0% of it. I even got. So one thing that we say in this family, because Maddie doesn't like to eat and try new things, is we have to be adventurous. So she goes to me, Mama, try some of this rice pudding and be adventurous. And I was like, I just want the sugar. No, I know that I don't like the rice pudding.
She's 4 going on 30.
Oh, so much. All right, did you happen to pair that with any beer?
No, because I was driving home from your house.
We didn't have bread pudding. Where'd you get it?
Hannaford does.
Oh, I see. You could have just picked up like a...
Raspberries or...
Yeah, you could have, just picked up anything and just...
I was driving.
Nah. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Well, that's going to be all for us today. Thank you so much to my mom for being on this podcast with me. I hope all the moms out there have an amazing Mother's Day. And remember, if you listen to this right when it comes out, you still have a couple days to make sure that you treat those special moms in your life extra special this year. We will see you all next week with a brand new episode.
Cheers.
Cheers! Again, a huge, giant thank you to my mom for playing along and supporting all of my crazy adventures. I love you, and I couldn't do this without you. Also, a big thank you to our show sponsor, Oak Hill Beverage. You should all go and grab your moms some beer, cider, mead, or wine and let them know how much you appreciate them. For store hours, go to oakhillbeverage.com. If you want to see clips from Teddy Ruxpin, the Stupid Ninja Turtles, or Jake and the Neverland Pirates, check out our show notes, greatbeeradventure.com/045. The music throughout today's episode is by Old Etc. out of Biddeford, Maine. To learn more about them, head over to greatbeeradventure.com/music. We have new things headed your way every week and can't wait to share them with you. Today's episode was created, produced, and edited by me, Amanda. Thanks for joining us. Have a fabulous day, and we'll see you next time. Cheers. Want to know more? Be sure to find us on Instagram at Great Beer Women. If you haven't done so already, be sure to head over to greatbeeradventure.com/subscribe to subscribe. That way, you'll be the first to know when a new episode goes live. Also, don't forget to tell your friends about us. A small party is fun, but a huge party is extraordinary. Let's get more people knowing about beer in the great state of Maine. Great Beer Adventure is part of the Great Pint Society.
You wouldn't have to edit that out if you didn't have it recording yet. I'm picking you.
I know, but if I don't press record before it's actually time to press record, I have been known to forget.
Oh.
So I get it recording, and then I just come in and I chop it right there, and I'd rather chop that one than miss the whole entire interview.
Okay, and why do you have headphones on?
I'm just making sure. I had a little bit of trouble with one of my mics last time. And so I want to make sure that we're coming in fine.
And you can tell when you have those on?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Oh.
Do you want to hear it?
No, I just wondered why you had headphones on and I didn't.